Over the weekend, Bernie Sanders spoke to, what was it, 12, 15,000 people, something like that in Seattle, 12,000 people in Seattle, and 28,000 people in Portland. And earlier in the day in Seattle, Bernie had been invited to speak at an event put on by Social Security Works. And it was to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Medicare, which was last week. And Bernie, several people got, spoke before Bernie, and then he got up and, he was the last speaker of the event. And again, this was not a Bernie event. This was a Social Security Works event to discuss issues of Social Security. And he got up on the stage, and we've got the video or the audio of what happened. Which is it? We've got both? Okay. Here's what happened.
Thank you, Seattle, for being one of the most progressive cities in the United States of America.
We want an opportunity to address. We want an opportunity on the mic.
Okay. Well, ask him.
Get him in check or we're shutting this event down now. If you do not listen to her, your event will be shut down right now.
This woman, two African-American women rush the stage, and one of them says, if you don't let her speak, we're going to shut this event down right now. And Bernie says to her, talk to him. And he's referring to the guy standing next to him who was the event organizer. It was his event. So then that guy tries to negotiate with them, and here's what, so it continues. Here we go.
If you do not listen to her, your event will be shut down right now. Right now. Your decision. Make a decision now.
We are going to let you on the mic. Okay. All right. So we are trying to be reasonable. We are trying to be reasonable. We are trying to be reasonable.
We are reasonable.
We are trying. We're going to give you. We're going to let you on the mic. We are going to give you the mic. We will after Senator Sanders. After Senator Sanders. After Senator Sanders. After Senator Sanders. After Senator Sanders.
Do not tell me what to do.
After Senator Sanders.
Sit down.
After Senator Sanders.
Sit down.
Okay. All right.
Let her speak.
All right.
Let her speak.
All right. We're shutting it down. You are shutting it down. You are disrupting this event. You are disrupting this event. We will.
That's on his campaign. Let her speak.
No, you are shutting it down. We are shutting.
Let her speak or we shut it down.
We will shut it down. You are shutting it down.
And that was it. It was shut down. Now, there's been a lot written about that over the weekend. And, when I said I go back to 1972, there was some speculation because these are women that maybe, why aren't they doing this to Hillary, right? That this is coming out of the Clinton campaign. I don't think so. There was some speculation that this was 1972 all over again. And, let me explain that. In 1972, Richard Nixon was running for re-election. And the principal Democrat who was running against him was a guy named Ed Muskie. He was a senator from Maine. He was very well thought of. He was a hell of a speaker. And he had been attacked twice by the Manchester Union leader. Once when a letter was published that was supposedly from him or referencing him. It was called the Canuck letter, which is a slur word to describe white people of French heritage who live in the Northeast. And then the next day, the Manchester Union leader, which back when Bill Loeb was alive and published the newspaper, it was the only statewide paper in New Hampshire, and they had these front page right-wing, screaming right-wing, I mean, John Birch Society right-wing editorials. And the next day they attacked Ed Muskie's wife, saying that she drank alcohol and used swear words. And Ed Muskie took the train up to New Hampshire to speak in front of the Manchester Union Leader building. And on the train, something happened. He seemed to have a breakdown of some kind. And then they got to Manchester, and he stood up on this flatbed truck and talked fairly passionately about his wife and what a good woman she was. And it was reported that he was crying, although there was some dispute about that because it was snowing that day, and it might have just been snow on his face. But that was the story that went out, was Ed Muskie cries in front of the Union Leader, and it destroyed his candidacy. The FBI later discovered, and this became part of in 1973, part of the congressional hearings into Richard Nixon and his resignation, the Watergate hearings. The FBI discovered that Nixon was running a dirty tricks team, and that Nixon knew that if Muskie was the Democratic candidate, Nixon would lose. But if McGovern was the Democratic candidate, Nixon would win. And so the dirty tricks team they were actually the ones who forged the Canuck letter that got published in the Union Leader. In other words, it was a Republican trick. So the thing that fueled a lot of that speculation is that Marissa Janney Johnson, one of the, if I'm pronouncing it right, one of the two women who you just saw and heard screaming into the microphone, calling Bernie Sanders and his listener and the people in the audience white supremacist liberals. Actually, let me talk about white supremacist liberals for a second. Go Bears 10 published this on Democratic Underground over the weekend. I am a person of color. I don't have white privilege. I think systemic racism against people of color is a huge problem in our country. I want to combat it. Structural white privilege is real. Marissa Janney Johnson called Bernie Sanders a white supremacist liberal. Never mind that Sanders' father was an immigrant from Poland whose family was killed in the Holocaust. Black Lives Matter Seattle also posted this on their Facebook page. The problem with Sanders and with white Seattle progressives in general is that they are utterly and totally useless when not outright harmful in terms of the fight for black lives. And then this woman of color writes, we used to have white supremacist liberals in our country. They were Southern Democrats and Dixiecrats. They were white people, mostly in the South, who supported economically leftist policies such as the New Deal, Social Security, unemployment insurance, minimum wage laws, pro-union, but they felt that black people were racially inferior, and they supported white supremacist policies like banning interracial marriage, Jim Crow, and racial segregation. Bernie is the farthest thing from that. Again, this is a person of color writing this. Other than Marissa on her Facebook page apparently having a picture of herself with a Sarah Palin button and talking about how the Republicans missed a chance, I think these are all very thin reads. This is really starting to remind me of some of the chaos, because this was BLM Seattle, some of the chaos as Occupy Wall Street was going in 16 different directions, some of them ultimately destructive to Occupy Wall Street. I started the 1972 thing and I didn't finish it up. Let me just wrap it up very quickly. The Republican field, the Republican National Committee, the Republicans, just ask yourself, do they want to run against Bernie? Do they want to run against a guy who can bring 28,000 people in a town of only 700,000 people, Portland? Do they want to do that? No. They want to run against Hillary Clinton. They've got 20 years worth of opposition research for Hillary Clinton. They can keep scandals going continuously. They're ready for it. They're prepared for it. They want it. All the Republican candidates were mentioning Hillary Clinton at the Republican so-called debate. They do not want to run against Bernie. That was my point with the 72 analogy.